What's up, guys? It's your boy Scarver. So, today I thought I would make a video. I did a tier list of all of my favorite Star Wars games. As I went to go do the tier list, found there were quite a few more games in Star Wars than I knew. And either were like the really old ones, but there's probably about like 100. It looks like there's a huge list. I found Kotaku where they did all of them ever. Um, and there were just way too many that I didn't know. So what I decided to do was use the Steam list, all of the games that are currently on Steam for PC, about probably 20 of them, 30 of them. So I did all of those because I knew most of them and I had played most of them. So that's what I did. If you guys see games that are missing, I'm sorry, they aren't on Steam or I just forgot about them. But second announcement, I'm going to be doing a stream. I'm gonna put the time, but I'm gonna be doing it May 4th. Hopefully, I'm gonna be doing a Star Wars stream May 4th. So, my Twitch is Scarver40, just like my YouTube channel. Just check it out, and hopefully, I will see y'all there. Bye.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Scarver. So I thought today we could have kind of more of a, chill video to appreciate the glory that is Star Wars. So I thought it'd be fun to do a tier list of all the Star Wars video games. So this should kind of be a chill video. We're gonna, it's just like, we're hanging out, Got me some mozzarella sticks. Got me some Olive Garden dressing to dip my mozzarella sticks into. It's gonna be a great video. Let's get into it. So, where to begin? So let's start with here. Star Wars Racer. Now, Star Wars Racer, or Episode 1 Racer, apologies. I remember playing some. I think it was enjoyable, but like it's definitely not great by any means. So I'm gonna drop that. Let's start with B. B tier sounds nice for it. Original Star Wars Battlefront wasn't the best, but I remember enjoying the crap out of that game. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that game. Does it deserve S tier? I think. Okay. I'm gonna drop it in A tier for now, and then I'll bump it up if I feel like I need to. Star Wars Commando, really good, actually, kind of, like very artistically well done game, very out of the park for LucasArts. So I'm gonna put it S tier. I'm just gonna slap it up there. Jedi Fallen Order, I enjoyed it. I feel like it was a good Star Wars game, but I don't feel like it's S tier. It could have been better. I feel like the story was kind of pointless. I'm gonna put it in B. Dark Forces. Now, Dark Forces is really good. Not as good as Dark Forces 2, but obviously, had to start somewhere. So I'm gonna drop it at. I'm gonna put it in A tier. Let's see. Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. This game is great. It deserves S tier. We're going with that. No questions asked. Empire at War. I played Forces of Corruption so much. I don't know about the original one, but definitely I think I'm going to put the gold pack in. I played it way too much, and I enjoyed it way too much to not put it in S tier. I would play that game for hours. Hours on end. Clone Wars, Republic Heroes, definitely not, and it was mediocre. I'm gonna actually put it under C. So, sorry, mozzarella stick break. Force Unleashed 2, I had quite a few problems with, but overall, It wasn't bad. Not as good as the first one. I'm gonna put it B. Rogue Squadron 3D. I need to clarify which game this is. If this is the game that I think of, it sucks and it belongs in the D tier. Actually, I should have created an F tier so that in the case that it is this game, I could put it exclusively in there because it freaking sucks. Okay, no, it's not. Never mind. Okay. This one I don't know much about. It looks kind of interesting, but I think it's also very similar to like Starfighter and Jedi Starfighter. Basically, it looks like exactly the same when I looked it up, and those games weren't that great. But I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt and put it in B. Jedi. Which one is this? Okay, this one is Jedi Outcast. Now, Jedi Outcast, I think it was good. It wasn't as good as Jedi Knight 2. But I think I'd heard that it was pretty good, so I'm gonna put that one there. Don't feel like it was, well, okay. Well, I feel like it was at least better than Dark Forces, or like on par with probably Dark Forces. I mean, you got a lightsaber, for gosh sakes. I mean, it's Kyle Katarn with a lightsaber. You can't really go wrong with that. Jedi Knight, Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, that belongs in the S tier. I wish I had a higher tier just for the sake of being able to say that I put it in like S++. Knights of the Republic 2 deserves C tier. It was probably great, but whenever I tried to play it, the game I couldn't get anywhere. Like, I had a glitch where the game spawned my character in his underwear and started a cutscene, and it wouldn't fix it, and I couldn't. It was completely unplayable. I don't know what happened. I couldn't get past the first level. So it was a half-baked game that you need mods to fix. Mistress of the Sith is a great expansion for Jedi Knight. Definitely on par with Jedi Knight. I need to play as Mara Jade, which I really enjoyed. Rebellion, I haven't played. I'm going to put that right there. Star Wars X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Now, I did play this one some. This one was pretty good, actually. I'm going to put it C tier. Battlefront 2, the new one, not the old one. It was okay once they fixed some stuff. But, like, at launch, it was garbage. Like, you couldn't play the game. Battlefront 1 was a joke. That Battlefront 1 was a joke. You couldn't, like, unless you played online multiplayer, there was nothing fun to do. Which I didn't like to do anyways. I mean, Battlefront 2 falls under the same category, but at least it has some interesting single-player modes, or local co-op. Jedi Academy, I never got this far in the series, but it couldn't have been that bad, so I'm going to slap it in the B tier, just to, you know, kind of be safe. TIE Fighter, I played some, it was pretty good. I'm going to put it in B tier, because kind of, you know, it's been a while since I played that one. I had to revisit it in my adulthood to see if I absolutely hate it. Force Unleashed, 1. I'm going to put in A tier, because it was pretty good. Definitely not with Jedi Knight or any of these other games. Starfighter. Starfighter is going in the B tier. There's a lot of things in the B tier. Battlefront 2, S tier, where it belongs. X-Wing Special Edition. Well, I mean both TIE Fighter. So X-Wing. I think there were some bigger improvements for X-Wing, I mean for TIE Fighter than there were for X-Wing. So I'm gonna drop, you know, TIE Fighter down a bit for that. Star Wars, Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. I enjoyed. It wasn't as good as the other one, but I'm gonna drop it in there. The Galactic Battleground Saga. I haven't played this one, but this game kind of inspired Empire at War. So I'm gonna drop it in the B tier, but it definitely, if it's as good as Empire at War, it belongs in the S tier. Racer, I've already done. It's looping back. Okay. Wow, that was fast. So I think I'm gonna do some explanation of why I chose these as S tier. Obviously, I don't need to explain why Battlefront is D tier. It sucks. It's an awful game. There's not really anything fun to do in it. So, yeah. It's been real, boys. Happy Star Wars Day. Make sure to get you some mozzarella sticks. Get you some Olive Garden dressing. Dip it and eat it. It's just famissimo, or whatever the Italian people say. I probably just offended some Italian person's grandmother. Anyways, I picked out my top 3 games. To start is Empire at War, Forces of Corruption. So, Forces of Corruption specifically was so good. I really appreciated the new faction that was brought in. So with the Zahn Consortium, it's a criminal guild. Basically, Tiber Zahn is basically just trying to vie for criminal underworld king. He's going for complete control of the galaxy, kind of under the guise of letting the Empire or Rebellion or whoever win. I mean, for starters, this game was very different to me than a lot of other strategy games that I've played. This one, you would build troops beforehand and then go and attack other planets. They had really interesting space combat. Different planets could have different size space stations. All of the space stations had hangars, so even if you didn't have a big enough fleet to take out, a level 5 space station had enough people coming out of its hangar that you could usually kind of defend. A lot of times on the ground, whenever somebody would attack your base, you would have like different bases built up that would bring out like mercenaries or vehicles, which helps you out a ton in defending it. You can upgrade stuff like on the planet. You can upgrade your vehicles from their factories. Just a lot of interesting features that a lot of other things don't have. One thing about the consortium that I really enjoyed that I did all the time, basically you could corrupt enemy planets that you could act, and it did different things based on what you chose. A lot of them had something like gain enemy troops. I know there was one place that if you corrupted it, you could create TIE fighters as like a unit for your ships. Stuff like that where you could build different enemy ships just to bolster your forces. You had a ton of interesting heroes from the Star Wars universe. In the original Empire at War, you had Kyle Katarn, which I'm going to talk some about later. You had Yoda, you had Admiral Akbar, you have a ton of people just from all sides. And with Force of Corruption, you gain 5 bounty hunters on your side. I think that's just why I really loved this game, because there were just so many different things that you could do, but they were still very simple. It laid it out in a way that you could do it without having to put a lot of thought into it, but still, obviously, strategizing was key. So next we come to Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. This game was my childhood. I played this game so much. I don't know why. I must have played this game at least 2 or 3 times, which is a lot for like being 7. So this game, I think the charm of it, it really feels like you're playing a Star Wars movie. They created a ton of FMV movies, which obviously aren't great. They're very weird, but they're still enjoyable. Like, a lot of FMV games are very just bizarre, but these feel like you're watching a movie. They're movie scenes, and I think that's part of the reason why you're just able to get so engrossed in the story. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit cheesy, but at the same time, they're still good. Kind of along the same line, you have a great plot. Like, the plot for this game is basically that you have these Sith after the fall of the Empire who are trying to get to this place called the Valley of the Jedi, where basically hundreds of souls of Jedi and Sith alike have been trapped. They're trying to get there and absorb the power of the Force. Kind of along the same line, ton of Sith boss fights. You have really cool, interesting Sith. There's one Sith guy who he's missing his legs. he's like floating on a little jet. And he flies around. There's a set of Sith. One guy's like really big and one guy's really small. You have to fight them both at the same. Towards the end, you fight the final guy. But it's just interesting to see how you get all these force powers. The levels are just so well made. So many of them are just different than what you're used to seeing in a Star Wars game. Kyle ends up falling to the dark side. Was brought back by Mara Jade and kind of has to deal with that darkness inside of him. It's just spawned a wonderful series of games, and I think that's why I've really enjoyed these. Finally, we come to Knights of the Old Republic, the first one. This game, first off, it's just a great RPG. You have a lot of options. You have 9 side characters to help you, who you can either kind of push towards the dark side or away from it as you follow their character stories. There's tons of side quests. There's honestly a lot of decisions that you get to make. I know there's so many ways that you can play this game. You can play it as a soldier. You can be a dual-wielding lightsaber Jedi. You can be kind of stealthy. There's stealth fields in this game to kind of help you get past enemies if that's what you want. I think one of the main things, and I kind of touched on this a little bit, is just how you feel there's a lot of weight to your decisions. Almost every decision that you make pushes you back and forth between light side, dark side. It's interesting to see how your choices not only affect you but the other characters. Just seeing the way that those affect everyone around you isn't something that you necessarily see a lot of times in games. A lot of times it maybe affects the story's outcome, but not so much other characters and the way that they turn out, the way that their personality shifts based on what you've done with them, or whatever. Those things aren't situations that you see a lot in modern games. But I think that's just something that I've kind of appreciated about it, is that it's so different than just your cookie cutter RPG. And I think that's what's really just made it stick out for a long time, and what spawned Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Knights of the Old Republic Online. It's just having that atmosphere and the way that everything just works together. Well guys, I think that's going to do it for today. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I appreciate it greatly. If you're interested, if there's something that you had to say about the video, if you liked it, I definitely appreciate comments. I appreciate likes. I like to see how people are, responding to stuff. So, with that being said, thank y'all so much for checking out this video. I hope y'all check out my streams tomorrow, 1 to 3. Hope to see y'all there. Scarver40 on Twitch. Until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye.